Hello, welcome to Sidesteps. I'm Rabbi Alon Ferency, here to talk with Mayra Clay about her experiences in spirituality, creativity, meditation, and writing for children, among other things. I'm very excited to meet her. We've had a few chats beforehand, and I'm excited to learn more of her story and to share it with you. Mayra, welcome. Welcome to Sidesteps, and a pleasure to see you again.
Oh, yes. Hello, Alon. Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very, very excited to be here.
And you are very far away. You are in London right now, and I am in East Tennessee. We should let the audience know that it is a
Yes,
different time. It is afternoon for you, morning for me, and very hot for you, though not
yes.
so cool here. Yeah.
Oh, well, that is normal, not normal from London, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to have a hot weather at the moment.
Okay. Can you tell us a little just about your story geographically, professionally, but also in terms of a spiritual trajectory? Like, how has your spirituality evolved through your life? Tell that kind of biography if you could.
Yeah, I grew up in a Catholic environment, and I went to nursery, primary, high school, everything, and even university. And then I went to a Catholic schools. And yeah, I was
This was in
very,
Mexico, you've said to me.
yes,
Okay.
yes, in Mexico. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I was happy with that thing. I was going with the flow and everything. And I was being very happy to be in that environment and praying a lot. And yeah, so and but at one point of my life, when I finished university, I moved to Milan, to Italy, where my older sister was studying fashion design there, and it's where I met also my husband. Because my sister knew when I went to visit her one summer, I met him. So yeah, so after university, I decided to move to Milan and see what happened. And so I started to ask more myself more questions about the religions and everything. And at one point, my mom called me saying that she found this amazing course, meditation course, that actually, just to explain, I grew up with lots of um, going to a lot of self courses, psychologists, because my father was alcoholic and my mom workaholic. So my mom was very worried about us and my siblings having problems with alcoholic father. So I spent a lot of time of my time childhood going to with doctors. So the day that she called me in Milan and said, "Listen, I found this course. It's amazing," and I was just like, "I don't want to know anything." I said to her, "I don't want to know about religions. I don't want to know about courses. I don't just leave me alone." I said to her. I remember very well the words that I said to her. She was not happy, obviously, surprised about my answer, but and I was lying to her actually, because I say I'm very happy right now. I don't need anything in my life, and I was lying because I actually was going through a very ups and downs with my relationship with my husband. So, and then also discovering what I was going to do in Milan. So yeah, it was a lot of movement for me. And then a few months later, I went back to Mexico to visit my family, and surprised, she organized a course for me with the teachers that she met. This is a meditation course
Okay.
that is called the Ascension, Shaya's Ascension of the Bright Path. And I say to her, "All right, okay, I'm going to do it. This is the last one, and please just leave me alone." It's like, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so after I did, it was a weekend course. I felt so content, so happy, so peaceful, so relaxed. Something changed there in that weekend for me.
Is this in
Um,
2011? I saw something on your bio.
so 2011 is when we became meditation teachers. That was
Okay.
a few years before. And I realized, and after with the time, I was so happy. I went back to London, to Milan, sorry, And my husband was like, what's happening to you? Something you changed. You are more like relaxed, more confident. We fight less. And I was like, oh, yes, I did this course. And he was like, okay, this is amazing. And then the next time that we were in Mexico, he wanted to do it. So he did the course. But I realized after all this that I was looking for something outside me. I was looking for happiness outside. I was looking for acceptance outside. So everything was outside of me. And when after a few months, let's say, I realized that the meditation was helping me to go inwards. And it's when I say, well, okay, God is with me. God is in me. God is in, it's not outside. Yeah, of course, it's how you treat person, how you treat the planet, how you treat everyone is obviously, but he's inside of me, but it's around outside. So for me, it's been an amazing discovery that, and, and yeah, it's just starting with me and then going out there and see what happens with what the world has to offer me. So that's been my spiritual journey so far.
I feel like we could end the conversation now. That was really beautiful and well shared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So it sounds like, to use the wrong language, the idea of extrinsic versus intrinsic things that you experience to please other people like your mother or the church, and then that religious and spiritual experience becoming inherent in who you are.
Exactly.
So the
Yeah.
the turning point was really that course that your mother pushed you into.
Yes, now I'm so grateful.
I've had the same experiences with my parents of them trying to push me into things, but
Really?
sometimes it's terrific. Sometimes they get it right,
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Very
Yeah.
sweet. I mean, in
Yes.
some countries they have arranged marriages and they work out. Sometimes your parents know best.
Aha. That's amazing. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I'm very grateful with my mom about that. Yeah, because yeah, she brought something very valuable to me, to my family, to my relationship, to yeah, yeah. So it's been very good. Yeah.
Can I also hear about your creative journey? Sort of, you are now an author, but from our earlier conversations, I think there were a lot of creative moments and creative acts in your life. And would you like to share about how that evolved?
Yeah, well, creating is it's always been part of me. I think since I remember, since I was a child, I always wanted to. My mom has several shops in Mexico, and I was wanted to do like a. I was dressing, also being acting. I used to love acting and dancing, and so I grew up with very creating feeling. And my mom always support us in that sense. But I didn't realize about 100% that I was really keen to that part of me. And when I was living in Milan in Italy, I started to work for a company, Italian companies in fashion. And I realized that I was fascinated about that world, even it was quite intense. But so yeah, and then my husband, he's an industrial designer, so his work is very like creation, creates lots of things, obviously. And I always like to ask him and help him in some ways that I can help him. But then after a few years after, and we have our two sons, and then we moved to London. And then I was working in a primary school where my sons used to go. And just surrounded by that environment and about the little ones, nursery. I wanted to create a book also to help hopefully families to discover something bigger that is for me is what I was talking about is inside us. So I created this book. It's called The Boy in the Pink Light.
I'm holding it up right now for the viewer.
You,
It's available on all platforms.
yes, thank you so much. So it's been very fun. I work together with my very dearest friend, Lynn. Um, for the illustrations, and it was so easy for us to work together. We were involved. I was involved with her with illustrations, and she got my ideas, and I got her ideas. So it was amazing. And the creation part, I'm still loving. I love fashion. I'm always looking for ideas, or even at the house, how to change things. So yeah, I love creation. Yeah.
So your earliest memories are performing arts and then visual arts. And I want to let the audience who's just listening know that you are wearing a very beautiful top with incredibly
Oh,
great colors. So you have a great sense of color. And I noticed that in the book as well, even though you are not the illustrator. I did want to even ask you, in meditation, I have heard of meditations about cultivating light. How did you choose pink? How did that color come to you? Because it's quite beautiful illustrated, but it doesn't feel accidental.
well, actually, no, that's it's the pink light is actually a very ancient technique that I discovered after a few months when I learned to ascend to meditate. This meditation that I do, and it's a technique that really, really helped me to even heal more my relationship with my dad. And it's a very, very simple technique that everyone can do it. You don't need to, yeah,
When
just
towards the
always,
end of our time, I would like you to lead it briefly for those listening. That's
of
okay.
course, yes.
Yeah.
And eh, so I always was a part of being so simple and very beautiful technique. I always love that it's called pink. Um, so yeah, so it was just like that. But I play a little bit with the boy because unfortunately in our society, pink is related to girls, and blue to boys. So I was like, no, 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 this is have to change something. And that's why I play with the boy and the pink light. So yeah, this relationship with the pink light, yeah.
I have heard that once upon a time, pink was a male color. That changed
Yes.
sometime in the 20th century. But regardless, yeah, I like the connection. And I also was thinking about it when you used a pronoun about God. I try to, in my own work and in the people I teach, remind people that God has no gender. And that so I almost never, if I can avoid it, use the word he about God or Lord or any of these masculine words, just to repeat the word God, which I also teach people is really doesn't mean anything so heavy as much as it's an easy way to pronounce all the things we
Mhm.
can't describe. So I
Yes.
do like, I never thought about that role play because pink is one of my favorite colors. So it just
I
made sense to me.
know. I know, but some people are like, no. I remember in nursery, some parents like don't let the children to play with dolls or wearing dresses and the color pink. And I was like, this has to change. I mean, really, it's not about color, it's not about the dress, it's about who you are, finding different ways of discover things in life. So yeah, yeah. Mm.
So I actually want to talk about something that wasn't on my agenda, but it's coming up as I'm thinking about you and we're talking. You seem attuned to beauty, and then not in a superficial sense, and not like, oh, that he's handsome or she's pretty or that dog is cute, but that beauty, I think, for me, and I'm guessing for you, is a gateway into the divine and the spiritual.
Mm.
I see from your nodding you agree, but I'd love to hear how you experience that. I
Yes,
certainly felt that with the book, that this beautiful radiance isn't just superficial.
yes. Yeah, thank you for asking my question. It's beautiful. Yes, again, through my meditation, I realized that we have to look at the essence of the person. We have to go through that glass to go through that body that we have. We have to go through ideas or yeah, ideas that we get of persons. We have to see the soul. We have to go to see deeper of what is coming from things that yeah maybe we don't discover the first time that we meet some person. So I love to always see more deep of something of the persons. For me is the essence of each one. And I also saw that a lot with the childrens, that they are so beautiful souls.
Mhm.
that really just want to be happy, be around kids all the time is because, and that for me also helps me to just continuously see through that glass and no stop in what can we see physically in a person. So yeah, it's the essence of each one.
Are you ever struck even by something as seemingly superficial as fashion? Having worked in Milan, and I know people also in that industry, sometimes clothes are shockingly beautiful and allow us to enter something much more profound. Do you have experiences like that?
Yes, actually, I had that experience during my work experience in fashion. Um, I was very afraid at the beginning because it's a very heavy environment, and like you say, very superficial, and it's just relate about what are you wearing, how you wearing, and who you are of if you wear this dress, no. So I learned to see through that, to go through that wall. Because for me, yeah, I always love fashion, like I say to you. But it doesn't mean if I'm wearing a nice dress, it stops there. So yeah, you can appreciate. I continue to admire fashion, and I love to see magazines. I love to see the runaway fashion shows. I love to, but it doesn't stop there. It just continues to see more about, okay, this dress because it's saying something to you, but it's not about the dress. Also, it's about who is wearing that person, what is trying to transmit to you with that dress too. So it's just going together the things, and in the sense, don't just go with your idea of if I wear a nice dress, I'm going to feel very confident. It's not about that. It's who you are. And then you just put a dress and you just, okay, you look great, but speak from your soul, know what are you wearing. So, but I'm still admiring fashion and design and everything. Yeah, I'm fascinated also with that. But it doesn't have to stop of the brand that you're wearing,
No,
because
certainly
like
not the brand, right? That's a deceptive, superficial comment, but not from
yes,
you. I mean, it's just deceptively small. But
yeah,
as you're speaking, I'm thinking about if the body is a temple, and then we in the Temple of Jerusalem, for example, they would polish
yeah,
all the artifacts, all the tools and utensils to be used in the temple. And I sort of think the garments are the polishing of our holy experience, and at their best, a way of us showing something refined about our soul, or
mhm,
or when a designer does it, giving you this insight through pink or blue or through draped fabric of what a person can be.
mhm.
For me, I find garments to be quite beautiful, and there's a lot of mystic texts about garments upon garments of what is sacred.
Absolutely. Actually, now that you mentioned, I remember when we went to India, I was fascinated of people walking on the Indians walking on the street with these amazing colors. Oh, sorry. I mean, I remember saying to my husband, look at that. What a creation of fabric. I mean, the colors. I mean, I was fascinated, and I'm still fascinated about that.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful too. Yeah,
The world needs beauty.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. Hmm.
I'd like to ask you a bit of a challenging question. You can deny, you can deflect or reject
Oh,
this
I didn't
question.
answer that question.
But as someone with experience working in addiction, my own compulsive behaviors of those I know and love, I don't necessarily want to talk about your father's addiction or your mother's workaholism, but largely in every family, there are messages we hear around our creative spirit. Some good, many not. So I'd love to hear, and you said you had this sort of flourishing childhood of dance and exploration and acting. Nevertheless, I find each of us gets difficult and or positive messages around our creativity. Do you remember any of those, or would you like to share? Or we can move on if it's uncomfortable.
No, no, no. I'm very happy if I understood your question. How I managed. I mean, how I was aware of the creation. and then going through my father be alcoholic. Is that the
That's a
question?
part of it, but more broadly, the messages we receive from parents and community and society about our creativity and how we need to process those.
Um,
Do you recall anything like that that you had to struggle with or address or that supported you?
I'm not sure, but I just remember, I mean, my house it was a very chaotic house. Really, really, we would grow up with nannies all the time, and because my father was somewhere else and my mother was at work. So, but I think the beauty of these chaotic parents was the acceptance of whatever we were wanted to do or express. Um, my mother always took us to ballet or to I was in um, a Catholic club and where we used to cook, learn to cook, learn to sew, learn to draw, learn to speak. So I think that helped me to be more aware of creation, I think. But that's what I remember, to be honest. It's not a specific thing, yeah. Um,
And what were the sort of Catholic messages around creativity and the arts?
well, in the school, not really. I don't remember so far. I remember about this club that I used to go after school. It was just a girls' club where we used to learn about to learn these skills. And I really, really like it. Yeah, it was like I'm happy also, I'm a happy place to be after school.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mhm. I don't know if that helps answers more or less your question, but yeah.
I mean, it does. It's just so much of what I see people struggle with is that leads them into dead ends and blocks or these frameworks that they grew up with, whether from parents, family, community, religion, that circumscribe and narrow their capacity to create. And part of there's a little bit of sort of deprogramming of those issues. And I was just curious if you've ever experienced that need to. And even when you talked about that class you took in Mexico City that your mother set up, um, it struck me as a sort of deprogramming class of like releasing the messages we've had and then moving into new possibilities.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I think yeah, that's why I'm always being very grateful with my mom about um she was trying to that we were like growing up like a very in a safe environment and be more learn more things. So I think she helped us a lot with that. I actually now remember I forgot that before, no, that was not before. When I finished high school, I think the summer is still very long in Mexico for the children that finish primary and then going back in September. And I say to her, I would like to go and do like a makeup course and something more creative during my summer. And she sent me to the biggest city that is called Guadalajara, where I studied university. And I went there. It was a 1 month course, and it was about how to learn to do your makeup. It was a little bit of fashion show, and it was also about how to hold the cutlery, how to sit down or with your elbows. So yeah, it was a very creative part of that course, and I remember I really really enjoyed it. So yeah, I don't know if it's something is with us. And my sister also because she studied fashion. And she's also very creative. Oh, I don't know if it was a way of escape, something. I don't know.
I cannot answer that, but it is interesting the tension in your story between the enjoyment of the external and the appreciation of the internal and how you bridge that gap.
Mm,
And that they are in a lot of religious traditions not different. There is no body and soul in a lot of traditions. It's just one thing that we are existing in.
mhm.
Our existence is immediate and embodied and visual, but also internal. And those are all part of the same experience. I think
Mhm.
that sort of integration is a little bit what the book speaks about, and a little bit
Yeah.
from your story is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think those messages were gendered? Some of the experiences you had in fashion and makeup, were those gendered at all? Did you feel that as a girl or woman that you were pushed into those things, or they felt very natural to you regardless of gender?
I think it was a very natural. I felt very natural. Yes. Yes, yes.
It wasn't clear
Yeah.
from the story.
Hmm. Mm.
So I'd love to hear, were there times in this creative process or spiritual process where there were obstacles and setbacks? And I'm curious for the listener, how did you address obstacles and setbacks and hard stops?
Yeah, there were a few, I mean, not few ones, but I felt like, but more obstacles from my mind.
Mm,
The obstacles of my mind. I was saying, you can't do this. No, how can you do that? No, it's not going to be okay. Oh, I mean, lots and lots. And I just follow my intuition. And that's constantly a reminder to myself to follow my intuition. Um, yeah, because comes from the heart, comes from the heart and not the mind. Because the mind can tell you so many things, and you can stop so many things. Um, but no, I just went with my intuition and go for it. And I remember that I said to my teacher, I say, I would like one day to do this book for children. And he was like, go for it. And I was like, okay. And then after COVID hit, and I was like, no, I think I'm not going to do this anymore. And then after slowly we came back to normal. I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. And then I asked my friend, and she went, yes, let's do it. So yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, obstacle for my mom all the time. Yeah.
can you walk us through in a little more granularity that there are these self doubts, there are these obstacles, there are these internal debates, and how do you intuition is a word we use to cover a lot of ground.
Hmm.
What's the actual process? Is there a secondary voice in you that tries to encourage, or voices of teachers? What's the process when you hit that moment of self doubt and worry?
Um, what are those moments? I mean, it's when I go with my mom. I don't know. For example, I start thinking, okay, the book. If yeah, I would like to do this book, and then I listen to my mom. But this, no, but this, no, but this. And then it comes also, unfortunately for me, it is very strong, the insecurity that I can't do something, insecurity about people are not going to like it, and thinking about what people think about me
Mm-hmm.
instead about, okay, this is okay for me, I'm content with this, I'm happy doing this. And so yeah, a lot of that, and it's still right now. And but thanks to my meditation and finding um that I can just follow my heart is helping me to open windows for myself. And then if the people like it, okay. If they don't like it, okay. You're never going to agree with everyone, but that's okay too. So it's been a beautiful dance just to discover, like, I can do it. I can do it. And I remember very clear that I said to my husband, if this book just changed a boy, life of a boy, of a girl, of even of the parents, I'm more than happy with that. Just, yeah, whatever it is. But I can sometimes just follow my, I'm thinking about things and I'm like, no, stop here. Okay, this is in your mind. Okay, what is happening right now here? What do you want? What do you wish? Okay, how can you do this? How can you that? Otherwise, I don't do anything. I just,
Absolutely. Yes, that's a lot of paralysis that one can experience. Yeah, I love the
yeah.
phrase, the beautiful dance of it all. And
Mhm.
you should know that the book affected my morning when I read it again. So
Oh,
I
thank you.
was in a different place, and then I read the book, and I was much more excited about the day ahead. So,
Oh,
um,
thank you.
yeah. I there's a piece of what you're saying. Maybe I'm framing this wrong. It's almost as if we put the audience first when we
Mhm.
have those doubts. What will people think? How will this be received? Rather than, as you said, this is for me. This is what I want to do. This is good for me. And if it only affects one other person, who sometimes is one's the artist's spouse or teacher or child, that's very
Mhm.
powerful. I create meditations, and sometimes it's just great that my son listens to it to help him go to sleep
Oh, mhm. Mhm.
because I get to sleep, can listen to my meditations and go to sleep.
Oh,
So
what a
yeah,
good, yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
that would you call that almost putting the audience first when you have all those doubts and those questions? Does it start to feel like you're
Yes.
thinking about the audience before the work and before yourself?
Yes, actually, it's happening to me very recently because I will love to write another book.
Okay.
And it's coming a lot of my internal questions like, oh, what about if they don't like that the same as the boy in the pink light? Oh, what about this? And what about how the illustrations or what the name of the book and that la 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 la. And I'm like, who cares? And it's something that I found no about the book, but something about I found in life when I see a like for example a beautiful draw or beautiful chair or beautiful dress. I find that those pieces are the ones who are made with love and the mind completely away, just the presence of those things. And it's when we are more empty about ourselves is when creation comes. When creation comes and the beauty comes, and that is when the people receive it more open, completely like, wow, this is because they can feel that is true, that is true to yourself, true to what you believe. So that's the important thing for me. It's just
As my friends in the Black church say, preach, preach. I want you to preach because everything you just said is spot on. That was beautiful. That was terrific. I wish I had written everything down. Would you be open to a little bit of thinking through this block you're in now? This
yeah,
anxiety you're having about book two?
yeah, yeah, yes, of course.
Let's do
Um,
that. Let's talk it through. I have sometimes helped people, and I'd love to see if we can make a little sideways motion to get this log jam started. So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I'm
yes,
excited. So, what do you know so far? Like, where is the status of the project right now? Just so I know for reference.
yes. What I know is for sure that I would like to make to create and no to create another children's book, and
Okay.
again always about um finding love and freedom from ourselves, from our minds, and not only that for children, actually the main goal goes for parents for me, um, because the children, like I say, they are completely pure and honest and present. So just get together, parents and children, and enjoy time together, talk about things, be open one to each other, open to talk about feelings, because unfortunately I didn't grow up like that. I was hiding my feelings a lot of the time.
Those are the
And
messages I was asking about. Hiding your feelings are classic messages that impair artists. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You cheated. You cheated and didn't bring it up
No,
before.
no, no, I didn't
That
understand
is
something.
exactly what I was curious about. Those are the messages that hurt artists.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, it's just about to be like I said before, true to ourselves, honest, and when the children see you as a grown up, to be completely authentic and real and open, they grow up feeling that okay, this is okay to feel whatever is sad, angry, happiness, insecure, anxiety, whatever is there. And it's okay to be angry sometimes. And it's okay to don't accept things as the way they are. Just to talk about everything. And it's a beautiful thing to do it with your parents because we saw it with our two boys when they were younger, opening the books, talk about things about the books, feelings. It was just amazing. It's just a beautiful relationship that you build with your children. So for me, for me, it's very important. Yes.
I just want to pause. Personally, I'm having a moment of deep regret that when I read my kids' books, I didn't do that often enough. That
Mm.
I would just say, now it's time for bed, instead of probing further, like, what did that book mean to you? What's going on for you that connects this book? I wish I had done more of that. I missed My kids are now a little grown and I'm a little tired. I wish I
I
had those
know,
conversations.
I know, but yeah, but maybe something different now that they are older is it's going to do something different. But it's always a learning about something. It's also an experience that you bring in life that even if we don't realize at the moment, it helps us to to grow up in different ways. So it's for me, it's everything is a learning,
Yeah.
everything. So
It's taking me a long time to be a good parent. It's taken me at least 14 years. So I
I
want
know.
to note a couple things about this process. What seems consistent from book to book is that it starts in that connection with your children. On your website, you mentioned that the book grew out of teaching at your children's school and seeing the parent child teacher student connection and how powerful and pure that could be and what kids needed in that moment. And
Mhm.
the first book, The Boy in the Pink Light, was so much about love to me and self-love and expanding the self-love. And the word you said today that is, I think, is newish is freedom. I
Mhm.
think the next book is probably more about teaching kids to be free and open. Does that
Yes.
sound right?
Yeah, yeah, I think it goes that way. Yes, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And the way that parents' vulnerability enhances and creates that space for kids to be free and open. So
Mhm.
if the first image, the core image of the boy in the pink light is that pink sphere of light that expands, would you close your eyes for a second?
Yes, of course.
If we had, I don't want to do this with people listening, but I would wish we could take the time to meditate right now. But very quickly, what image is coming to mind that might be a core organizing image for the next book? You think about freedom and openness in children and the vulnerability that's needed from the parent. Is
What image?
there a color?
No, it comes more like word. It's friendship.
Okay. And what represents that? If you were to think about it
Um,
visually, what do you see when you think about
yeah, I
that
see
connection?
acceptance, respect, love, harmony, honesty,
Okay. What
and again,
images what
so,
images come up for harmony?
um,
Try to let yourself drift past words into just something visual or a sound or a color.
no, it's just peace.
Okay.
So peaceful. No colors, no images, just peace.
Okay. Let's take 3 more deep breaths and just see if any image arises before we continue. Peace and harmony.
It it comes with a mix of a little, still again a little bit of pink and kind of white gray. I don't know.
Yeah, that it's so funny. I didn't want to feed you that, but it was more of a neutral color for me that I was thinking when you talk about peace and harmony.
Yeah.
two images came to mind, or two references came to mind. One was there was a book called The Color of Water, which was a spiritual memoir. I can't think of the author.
Mhm.
And it's a Black man growing up in the southern United States, perhaps, and his mother told him that God is the color of water.
No, I don't know. Can I open my eyes? Oh, I'm
Yeah, sure,
still.
sure.
I
It's not a trick.
just want to see you enough.
But I was thinking about the color of water, the idea of the color of water.
Let me write it. No, I don't know the idea of color water.
Yeah, that God is the color of water. When he was
Okay.
trying to understand spirituality in the context of racism.
Oh, wow.
And then the other thing you said when we talk about harmony and peace and
Yes.
wholeness, there is a word in Hebrew, shalom, which often gets translated as peace, which is pretty inaccurate because it means completeness.
Mm-hmm.
It means wholeness, harmony, and thereby you have peace. When you have wholeness and harmony, you are at peace.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about that word, the words we use as containers for wholeness and peace and harmony.
Mm-hmm.
So we still are no closer to finding the core organizing image for a new book, but I think you've thought about it a lot, and maybe that'll start edging you towards a new
But
creation.
but also that now that I'm talking about these ideas, my husband teach the same meditation. He's also um and we were talking about recently about why we don't do something together. He also has a meditation book for grown-ups, a small guide. So yeah, who knows? I'm
I
putting everything.
absolutely think you should do something with your husband, as long as it wouldn't put fiction in the marriage, as long as it would make the marriage
No,
better
no,
and
no.
not more difficult. I absolutely think. I mean, the way you described your collaboration with Lena,
Lina,
how
yes.
Lena is collaboration is so powerful and so intimate and so intense. Yeah,
Mm.
if you could collaborate with a loved one who's someone who you care about already, it would be
Yeah.
wonderful. I hope it would deepen your marriage and create something beautiful.
Yes, we hope so. Yeah, we're actually talking about this last week, eh? So yeah, who knows? Let's see
I think
how
you
it
should at
goes.
least try it.
Yes, yes, no, no, no,
Yeah, go
no, no.
for it. And
Yeah, yes, yes, yes,
because it
because
might not even be this book, it might be another thing that you create
exactly,
together,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
Um,
yes, exactly.
yeah,
Maybe that is going to help to a little bit unblock my mind in
yeah,
that sense.
for sure. That's the nature of these little side steps
Yes,
and tricks we play on ourselves and collaborations and new information that we bring in. Yeah.
yeah. So let's see what comes. Yeah.
Would you like to guide us in a little meditation based on the book, or something, even something new that you're working on? Would you like to share any new meditations you're building?
Um, no, at the moment, no, I'm fully, to be honest, at the moment with the book, with the boy and the pink light. And I've been writing a lot about my journey when I was little and how I ended right now here in London uh, with two boys and the boy and the pink light. So yeah, it's been the last 2 months. It's been really really nice, and doing this amazing podcast that. At the beginning, I was very, very afraid because, especially because of my English is not my first language. So I was like, oh my goodness, how I'm going to communicate with them in English. I mean, I was like, okay, like it took me to out of my comfort zone, to be honest. And now I'm fascinated. I just I don't care if they don't understand me, or I don't care if I didn't explain myself. But the main thing, the main thing is I think is hopefully it's going to be clear from this podcast. And I've been so grateful, so happy. So my husband's like, wow, you were quite scared to do this, and now look at you. So yeah, I'm very, very, very grateful, very happy, enjoyed it. So
It
that is
is hard to really show oneself in a foreign language, having spoken other languages and watched my grandmother, who was speaking English to us the whole time, and then later in life I saw her speak Russian, and I was like, oh, that's the real her. There's a huge piece of her that I never knew because I didn't speak Russian.
yeah, of course. It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's the way you express is completely different. I mean,
but
yeah.
also, oh, I love learning languages. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But I love So I'd love if we could wrap up with you leading a meditation and then you share a little about how people can connect with you. And then I'd
Mhm.
close with a prayer if that's
Yes.
appropriate for you. Okay.
Would
So
you
I would,
like that we do the pink light?
unless you have something else you're working on that you'd like to share and test.
No, no. Pink
Yeah.
light sounds amazing.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I get it straight from the horse's mouth instead of
Okay,
having to do it
okay.
in the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get the book. Can
No,
you
no,
give me
no.
one?
You do it, whatever you need, whatever you need. Yeah.
I'm coming 1 second, sir. I'm just
Okay.
going to grab. I forgot to bring it with me. Sorry. Thank you.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Thank
Da,
you
da,
for
da,
your
da, da,
help.
da. I am ready
Yeah,
when you are.
perfect. This is simplify the pink light because we can make it longer, but this is the simplified pink light. And so yeah, let's sit down and feel very comfortable and relax. Let's take a big, big, big breath, and then exhale. So imagine pink light coming from your heart and surrounding you in a big pink bubble. Now, picture yourself sitting in front of you and cover that image of yourself with pink light. That image can be you as you are right now, or it can be when you were younger, or even when you were a baby, if you remember. And cover that image with a big, big bubble of pink light. Now, send all your love to that image and say how much you love that baby or that boy or that girl. And say it's okay. Everything is okay. Now you can think of anyone else you love or want to help, like your family and friends, and imagine them sitting in front of you, one by one. Cover each of them in loving pink light. Or even your teddy bear, whatever is there for you, cover with a big, big pink light. And you can say to them or to who is in your big pink light that you love them very, very much. Now say bye-bye to all of them or one of them. And now cover again yourself as you are right now with another big, big pink light. And say that everything is okay, that you love that person, you love every aspect of that person the way they are, because they are perfection. And send another big, big pink light to that person. And let it go. Well done. That easy. So do it as often as you want to do it. And whenever you want to do it, any person that comes to your awareness, just do it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't know what just happened, but I was very close to tears. So I will
I know.
think about that.
It
Really,
happens. Mhm.
thank you. That was touched something very deeply.
Thank you, Alon.
I'm curious what it was. I will look into it and maybe get back to you.
Mhm.
Thank you. I needed that much more than I realized.
Oh, thank you, Alon. Mm.
Would you like to tell people listening where they can find you and what they can do to support your work and how they can connect with you?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Well, you can contact me if you are interested to know more about the boy in the pink light or the meditation that I practice, whatever is there, or just want to share whatever. It is on my website, myraclay.com. Or if you want to know more about the techniques that I do is the brightpath.com. And so yeah, or even my Instagram is a little bit longer, but it's Mayra S Clay and B. So yeah, um, I'm very happy always to receive or to have questions, whatever is there, and then if I can help with for my experience, I'm very happy to do it.
I'll put all those links in the show notes.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you so much.
Let's wrap up with a little prayer, if it's all right
Yes.
with you. And again,
Yes.
I tell people this all the time. God is just a convenient word. It is short and easy to pronounce and one syllable, but it means whatever it needs to mean for you, whether it's higher power in the language of 12 step or mystery or benevolence or your own religious system or your own personal awareness of what transcends us and what's so deep we can't know it. So I
Mhm.
just use the word God, and I'm letting the listeners and you, Mayra, know that it's not intended to be my God or
No.
a church's God, but the broadest possible understanding.
Mhm.
God, thank you for these sacred encounters. Thank you for the pink light that transcends us, is within us, and connects us. The light of soul, the light of memory, the light of creativity. Thank you for the earliest and youngest parts of us and for Mayra's ability to touch that and to know that deeply. Look over her as she, like every human being, continues to heal her brokenness and learn of herself. Let her continue to create a new book, a new collaboration, wherever you lead her, whatever comes up from the openness. Help her to find that freedom. Look over anyone listening and grant them this kind of connection and this kind of creativity and spirituality. Look over us all with health and happiness, wholeness, completion, and harmony. The ancient Hebrew word shalom. Amen.
Amen. Oh, thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for that.
being here today, Mayra. It was
Oh, thank
delightful.
you for having me. Thank
Pleasure.
you.
A pleasure.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I learned
You keep
also.
learning.